Hello, welcome to the episode of Motoring Middle East. And today on this crisp July morning, you find me a little bit confused. I'm pretty sure I reviewed this car already. It's the Volvo XC40 in this beautiful blue. It's one of my favorite little cars. And that one was quite expensive for a little SUV, 175. This one's even more expensive. It's 225. And as far as I can work out, all they've done is put these silly, huge 22-inch wheels on it. Volvo's gone mad. Why have they sent me the same car again? I mean, no internet reviewer will ever turn down getting a free car for a week or two, but I don't get it, man. Like, what's different about this car? Like, there's got to be something here I'm missing. There's got to be something. So I continue to be at a bit of a loss here. Like, what is the point of this car? It looks a bit different. The wheels are huge. The car's a lot bigger than the XC40. Wait a minute. It's the XC60. Right, I'm an idiot. That's because all these Volvos kind of look the same, whether it's 60, 90, 40, and that's by design. Luckily, they're quite good looking cars. I really like the look of them. And this is the R-Design pack. So for 225,000 dirhams, what do you get? Well, you get these quite cool looking massive alloys, 22 inches. They are what the kids would call dubs during the exhibit days. But I think it's a good looking SUV. The proportions are great. It sits really well. Finally fills up the arches. If anything, it's too big. Oh, by the way, the alloys are 24,000 dirhams extra on top of the 225,000 dirham price. So actually, I would just get the regular one of the 19s because they look pretty cool as well, and frankly, it would be a much better ride. Other than that, you get a few differences on the bumpers, and mainly this cool black grille with these little blocks in them. Like a Lego crashed into it. Yeah, I don't think it's 100% essential, but if you're going to get the R-Design, it's the best looking one. Oh, and the rear bumper integrates the exhausts a little differently. And if you ask me what difference is, don't ask me, I'm not in the mood. Other than that, you know what to expect with an XC60. It's a beautiful car. We've reviewed it a few times. You know what to expect from Volvos. So let's just get to the driving and see if the R-Design makes a difference. Oh, I should also point out the R-Design is a little bit lower. So it actually runs on a lowered sport chassis. Does it turn the XC60 into a sports car? Let's find out. Okay, I'm really not going to waste your time going over the Volvo interior again. It's pretty much the same from car to car, whether it's the XC40, the XC90, the XC60, which happens to be this one. It's brilliant, it's clean, it's crisp, it's incredibly stylish and yet cool and understated. And there's no point putting you through it again. What is the only difference with the R-Design pack? And I mean the only difference. Two things. First of all, these seats have this Napa leather inserts. I'll cut away and show you what they look like. They look amazing, and as usual, being at Volvo, they hold you in all the right places, and they're perfectly designed for your spine. You will not find a more comfortable seat than a Volvo seat. I guarantee it. And the other thing is these metal inlays. And that's really it. I told you I wasn't going to waste your time. Let's drive. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty quick review of the XC60. All we're really talking about here is the R-Design pack and what effect, if any, it has on the car. This lowered sport chassis. I mean, if you want to know about the XC60, Shahzad did a very, very extensive review last year on it. And I think he's covered every single thing from the rear seat back. So go look that up in the channel. You'll see it. Apart from that, a couple of other points about the XC60. I'm not quite in love with it as I am with the XC40. The XC40 is perfect because it's this very small, nimble city car that also does really well in the city. The XC60, on the other hand, I don't think the prices are too bad. 225 is fine compared to the Japanese competition where you get sweet bugger all in terms of features. It is lacking a couple of things that I would really like. Like, for one, it doesn't have heated and cooled seats, and I think I want heated and cooled seats. I would also like a more accessible place for the USB because it's quite buried down in here. Qi charging points. Now, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have cared about any of these things. I'd be like, yeah, this is a Volvo, this is great. But now I'm like, the game is moving on. People want gadgets. And I want a place to charge my phone that's easy and within reach. And I think Volvo did a really good job with the XC40. But that's a newer car. So yeah, this car also has the engine, the supercharged and turbocharged engine. 320 horsepower version, 2-liter 4-cylinder. And as you'll see, it doesn't quite deal with the 22s that well. I'm just taking it. Just a little bit of a punch. Yeah, I mean, it's hot out. It's about 37 degrees. But that's not really an excuse either, is it? Minor off-road course let's be honest, this is not an off-road car in any way, shape or form. None of these Volvos are off-road cars. They wouldn't be able to handle us. Beach. I mean, you could do it, but then you are risking serious damage. You can make any car off-road, but you shouldn't make every car off-road. It's a nice snarl at the top end, but it's not that quick. Let's put it into dynamic high performance mode where it increases the throttle response and does something. Not really much of a difference, to be honest. The gearbox is a little bit crisper. To be honest with you, the smaller, I'm going to put this back into, actually I'm going to hit my corner quite quickly. I feel like the XC40 was faster with less horsepower. It was a much lighter car. That too was having 19-inch wheels, but I felt it did a better job. This one, the 22 seemed to be wearing the car and not the other way around. Just take it back into comfort. Ride's okay. The 22 inches are a little bit fidgety. I found this at Volvo's a little bit fidgety. I'm not sure it's the wheels anymore. Maybe it's just the way that Volvo sets up their cars. It's fine. It feels very stiff and very European, very firm. And over the big bump there. Let's see the cow catcher. Cow catcher. There's a nice little intake noise from this exhaust, the engine, which I really like. It's not slow, but it's not what 320 horsepower would suggest. I think if you drive the XC90 with that version of the engine, which does about 400 horsepower, and then I ordered the hybrid, which apparently they do bring on special request. Things that are nice about this car, it's not a sporty car, so let's just dispense with all that shit. It is a very nice highway cruiser. Like doing this right now, there is a bit of wind noise, not so much tire noise, 22-inch wheels, but not so much tire noise. There is a bit of wind noise from the A-pillars, but it's not obtrusive. I can have a conversation without raising my voice. Sound system, exceptional. It requires a little bit more fiddling, a little bit more tuning perhaps than the XC40 because it's a bigger cabin, but it's a good system. It has a lot of clarity and great separation, and I can't demonstrate it to you because YouTube will sue me, but just take my word for it, it's a good system. Steering is nice. It does the typical Volvo dead on center thing, but then it gets progressively weightier, and it's too light around parking. I'm going to turn the AC up. Still annoyed about this having to do everything through the console. AC is a lot better in this car, bizarrely, than it is in the XC40. The XC40 kind of struggled with the heat. This one's doing a little better. Low fuel. Hello? 90 kilometers left. I can go to Abu Dhabi for worrying about fuel. Journalists are cheap, and we try to return a car with as little fuel as possible. So I'm going to see if I can get this car down to like 1 kilometer. Very cheap. But overall, it's a good car. Would I buy it? Yes. Would I buy it over the Japanese competition? Yes. Because you don't go off-road. You don't need it. I mean, it's a much nicer road car. It's got this 360 park thing. It is a godsend, if you believe in God, in tight spaces. It just feels very well executed. It's not quite the class-leading monster it was. I think some of the new German stuff is starting to catch up with it, but I still like it. And liking something is worth a lot. And you've got so much choice now. Aggressive cornering. Bag going everywhere. There's a weird vibration from there. I don't know where it's coming from. It's driving me potty. These cars are, of course, all built in Sweden, not China, despite the Chinese ownership. It's a good vehicle, the XC60 R-Design or no R-Design. I mean, you can probably skip the R-Design pack and save yourself a few shekels, a few dollars, a few dimes, a few bucks. But from my view, you might as well. I mean, look at the 90-inch version, but it's nice. It's a nice place to be. Everybody says it's a nice car, and it feels really solid, like it'll rack up like hundreds of thousands of kilometers without any issue at all. So I have nothing bad to report about the XC60. In fact, I like it very much, and I still think Volvos are kicking ass right now. And for those of you who are complaining about my language, go find another channel. And on that sweary note, thank you for watching. This is Motoring Middle East. Tell me what you want to see next. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your granny. Have you talked to your granny lately? I'm sure she wants to hear from you. Bye-bye.